Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to kick off today's presentation with the intriguing title, Fire and Ice. Today, we'll explore the fascinating contrasts and connections between these two powerful elements. We'll look at their roles in nature, literature, and even in our daily lives. So let's dive in and discover what makes fire and ice so captivating. Let's take a closer look at slide 2. Here, we see an overview of the poem, which is essential for understanding the broader context of our discussion. We'll explore how the poem fits into the themes we're examining, particularly the contrasting beliefs and perspectives it presents. Recognizing these key points helps us grasp the poem's deeper meaning and its relevance to the overall theme of exploring different worldviews. By connecting these elements, we can better appreciate the poem's message and its reflection of human beliefs and choices. Today, I want to introduce you to Robert Frost, one of the most celebrated American poets. He was born in San Francisco on March 26, 1874. His father was from New England, and his mother was a Scottish immigrant from Edinburgh. By the 1920s, Frost had become the most renowned poet in America. His works, including A Boy's Will published in 1913 and North of Boston from 1914, really helped establish his reputation. Over the years, he continued to publish influential collections like New Hampshire in 1923, which earned him the Pulitzer Prize. Other notable works include A Further Range, Steeple Bush, and In the Clearing. One of his famous poems, Dust of Snow, was published in New Hampshire and also contributed to his fame. Overall, Frost's poetry not only gained him national recognition, but also made a lasting impact on American literature. Let's take a closer look at the poem, Fire and Ice by Robert Frost. This poem is deeply symbolic and offers a meditation on how the world might come to an end. Frost uses the powerful imagery of fire and ice to represent two contrasting forces. The fire symbolizes human passions, such as lust and endless desires, which can be destructive if left unchecked. On the other hand, ice stands for hatred and cold indifference among people, which can also lead to destruction. The poet suggests that both these forces, fire and ice, have the potential to bring about the end of the world one day. This ties into our overall theme of human nature's dual capacity for creation and destruction, reminding us of the importance of balance and self-awareness. The theme of the poem revolves around a very old question: will the world end in fire or in ice? The poet presents both options as equally capable of bringing about the end. It's interesting to note that there's a common belief that everything that exists is also destined to end someday. People are actually divided on this issue. Some believe that fire, symbolizing passions and desires, will cause the destruction of the world. Others think that ice, representing coldness and reason, will be the culprit. When we think about fire in terms of human emotions, it stands for passions, desires, and love. Uncontrolled passions and desires can be destructive and potentially lead to the end of everything. The poet himself has experienced both these powerful emotions. And what's really compelling is that it doesn't matter how the world ends, whether through fiery passion or icy coldness, even hatred born out of cold, rational reasons can be enough to cause destruction and bring about the end. This connects deeply to the overall theme by showing how intense human emotions, whether fiery or icy, have the power to determine the fate of the world. It is certain that this world will come to an end. The poet expresses a belief that resonates with many people, that everything we know and see around us is temporary and will eventually cease to exist. This idea touches on a very profound and sublime subject, the end of the world. It's a theme that invites us to reflect on the impermanence of life and the universe. As we continue exploring these ideas, keep in mind how such thoughts can deepen our understanding of human existence and our place in the cosmos. In this slide, I want to focus on the poet's perspective. The poet aligns himself with those who believe that the world's end will come through fire. He uses fire as a powerful symbol, linking it to both natural elements and human emotions. Fire here represents human passions, intense feelings like love, desire, and unrestrained cravings. The poet suggests that these uncontrolled passions, especially when they are unchecked, can lead to destruction. He emphasizes that unbridled love and desire are dangerous, capable of causing chaos and even the end of the world. Interestingly, he admits that he has experienced desire himself, saying he has tasted it. This shows that he's not just an observer but someone who understands the fiery power of human passions firsthand. Overall, this view reminds us that our deepest emotions, if left unchecked, can have destructive consequences, tying back to the larger theme of the poem about the potential for human passions to lead to chaos and ruin. It seems that the poet shows his agreement with what people say about the ending of the world. He suggests that many believe an apocalyptic event is inevitable, but he's not entirely clear on when exactly that will happen. The poet's main idea is that the world will end through two powerful, contrasting natural elements: fire and ice. These elements symbolize destruction in different ways, fire representing passion and chaos, and ice symbolizing coldness and stillness. His conclusion is based on what people have said about this subject, reflecting a collective belief or fear. Overall, the poet feels that our world is destined to come to an end someday, and he explores these ideas through the imagery of fire and ice, which connect to the larger theme of the poem about the fragile and transient nature of life. Let's take a closer look at slide 9. First, we see the number 4 and then 2, which might seem a bit confusing at first glance. But what's important here is the idea that fire is linked to the human emotion of desire or passions. The poet draws a connection between these powerful natural elements, fire and desire, and human beings and their emotions. This suggests that our passions can be just as intense and potentially destructive as fire itself. Moving on, the slide mentions that uncontrolled fire of passion and desire can lead us to the end of the world. This highlights the destructive potential when such passions are left unchecked. In the first stanza, the poet expresses agreement with those who believe that fire, or perhaps ice, will bring about the end of the world. It's interesting to see how both elements are considered possible causes of destruction, fire representing desire and ice, perhaps symbolizing coldness or indifference. Finally, the slide notes the second stanza overview, which likely expands on these ideas. Overall, this slide emphasizes the powerful symbolism of fire and desire, and how their uncontrollable nature might have apocalyptic consequences, tying into the broader themes of the presentation. Now, let's look at the second alternative the poet mentions that could lead to the end of the world, which is ice. When I talk about ice here, I'm referring to hate, an emotion that can be born from cold reasoning. You see, cold, calculated thinking can sometimes foster feelings of hate rather than understanding or compassion. This kind of icy reasoning is not warm or empathetic. It's detached, and in many ways, ruthless. And importantly, the poet himself has experienced both these primal emotions: love and hate, fire and ice, passion and cold logic. It's a reminder that these powerful forces are part of human nature, and depending on how we wield them, they can either build or destroy. So in the context of our overall theme, this idea of ice symbolizes how cold, rational hatred can be just as destructive as fiery passion. It's a cautionary note about the dangers of letting cold rationality turn into hate that could, ultimately, threaten our survival. He has experienced enough of hate, which is born out of icy cold reasoning. In the end, Frost agrees that it doesn't matter whether it is fire or ice. Both can cause the end of the world. Ice, or hate born out of cold reasoning, is quite sufficient for causing destruction. This highlights a powerful point about the destructive potential of rigid, unfeeling beliefs. It connects to our overall theme that whether through anger or indifference, such attitudes can be equally devastating. Ultimately, it's a reminder that our beliefs and how we hold on to them can have profound consequences. Let's talk about the two different beliefs regarding the end of this material world. Some people say that the world will end in fire. They believe that at the end, everything will be reduced to a blazing fireball. This idea symbolizes destruction through intense heat and flames. It's a powerful metaphor for complete transformation or renewal. These contrasting beliefs help us understand the various perspectives on the ultimate fate of our universe. Connecting this to the overall theme, it reminds us of the importance of understanding both the physical and spiritual aspects of life's cycle. It also emphasizes the idea that endings, whether fiery or otherwise, often lead to new beginnings.